Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Lawson Turner, and we took a couple-day break over the weekend, but some news broke last week that I wanted to talk about in today's video. So Jalen Brunson has signed a contract extension with the New York Knicks. Is the contract extension, surprising? No, it's not. The number and what the years are, that's what's surprising. He signed a 4-year, $156 million extension with the Knicks. So, he gets paid. He gets paid handsomely. But he left $113 million on the table if he just would have waited till next season. If he would have waited till next offseason, he would have been eligible for a 5-year, $269 million max extension. Why is that important that he left this money on the table? It gives the Knicks more flexibility to, I don't know, maybe at the trade deadline, move Julius Randle and stuff and try and, improve their roster. Or they could try and just add a key role player here, a key role player there, maybe someone else coming off the bench. There's a lot of things that the Knicks could do with $113 million. But the big thing for me, it's how much he left on the table, but without taking that extra fifth year, that now means he's going to hit free agency again when the CBA, well, not the CBA, the new TV deal, I should say, when the new TV deal, hits next year, not this upcoming year, but the year afterwards, and players are making, upwards of, 65, 70, damn near $80 million a year, he's going to hit free agency again. Now, do I think he'll be one of those supermax $88 million a year players? No. But for a player of his magnitude, he's very valuable to what the Knicks are and want to be going forward. Their window is right now. I think after the Mikal Bridges trade, I would have them as the third best team in the Eastern Conference due to Milwaukee not doing essentially anything yet. So just in the East, I like Boston better than them. I like Philly better than them. And then the Knicks are just right there. Right above the Bucks, in my opinion. I think the Bucks have the better overall player in Giannis, but as a totality of a team, I like the Knicks roster better. Now, what did Jalen Brunson do to deserve this contract? Let's just look at this past year on what he did with the Knicks. 50-win season. Fantastic. They went 50-32, and it's one of the better Knicks seasons that, I can remember. They were the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Now, they did ended up losing in 7 games to the Indiana Pacers due to their bodies were just falling apart. You saw Josh Hart continue to get injuries. We saw Julius Randle miss, the last damn near month and a half in the entire playoffs for the Knicks. Now, when Julius Randle went down, we saw Jalen Brunson's usage go up. But for the totality of last season, he was 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists, shooting at a 48-40-85 split. That's 48% from the floor, 40% from 3, and 85 from the free throw line. So, what do I think this means for the Knicks? I think that this means that they're going to be competitive for the next, 3-4 years. Assuming people don't get fat and happy. Now, do I mean that they're going to get fat? Literally, no. But you're having a little bit of success here. You're having a little bit of success here. If they make another deep playoff run, do players get content of okay, we have, Brunson and the Villanova kids, and it's just going to be fun and vibes. No. They got a little bit of taste of what it could be in New York. They beat the Sixers in the first round. Then they go 7 deep against the Pacers, and maybe if a couple injuries don't go, against them, then maybe they're playing Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that would have been a hell of a series. And I think that overall, it's a fantastic signing for the Knicks to get a player of Jalen Brunson's caliber. He's still young. He's ascending. Now, do I think he's going to be, 29-7 again next year? Probably not. Probably not. Because he was their offensive heartbeat last year. For a Knicks team that when it came to half-court offense, there were a lot of things that that were left to be desired, especially in the half court. He was a fantastic offensive force, and if it wasn't for Jalen Brunson, especially in the half court, they weren't really scoring. He was their main ball distributor. He was their primary scorer. When you turn on Knicks games late, he's got the ball in his hand every time down the floor, and he was making fantastic decisions with the ball in his hands. Like I mentioned, I still think they're a top 3 team in the East. I think with Philly signing Paul George and getting players like Caleb Martin and Andre Drummond to be the backup for Joel Embiid, I think that those are key pieces that have them just a niche over the Knicks. I'm not saying that the Knicks overall have the better roster, but I think they have the better coach. Them being the Sixers, I think that we can expect about the exact same thing from a Tom Thibodeau coach team every single year. They're going to be a good regular season team. They're going to play hard. It's going to be fun. It's going to be vibes. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind. And come postseason, the biggest thing is, can they stay healthy? That's the biggest thing, because I thought that they were going to give Boston all they could handle if they were to meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals. But Josh Hart injury, then you have, Dante DiVincenzo gets nicked. And then in game 7, now, the Pacers were shooting the shit out of the ball anyways, but then Jalen Brunson's hand gets messed up. So there's a lot of injuries that happen along the way, but that's expected in a Tom Thibodeau coach team. That's plain and simple. Every year there's going to be so many miles on their tires that we're going to see, can they hold it together come postseason time. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. Link will also be in the description to make it a little bit easier to find. And let me know your guys' thoughts, opinions, and concerns. Do you think it was smart for Jalen Brunson to take this $113 million pay cut? Not really a pay cut, but, take it now and sacrifice some later. And where do you rank the Knicks in the Eastern Conference? Do you rank them as highly as I do, as a top 3 team, or do you think they're top 4 for obvious reasons? Well, as always, for the Cover 2 podcast, I'm Lawson Turner. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.